What's up, you guys? Sean Ross Sapp. Welcome to Fightful. It is November 6th, 2023. We are a couple of days removed from WWE Crown Jewel. I did a review here on Fightful. Also, we had a good Fightful Select review over there. I'll plug some Fightful Select stuff a little bit later on. But while you're here, leave a thumbs up. Get your super chats and humper chats in here at youtube.com/Fightful. That's how you get your question or statement read on the air. You can also go to humperchats.com. You can leave your question or statement well before we're on the air when you do that. We got Denise Salcedo here. Denise, how you doing?
I'm doing okay, although my sister's cat pissed all over my couch today, and I had to throw my couch. Well, it's about to be thrown away, but the part that the cat pissed on is already out of the house. And so I had to just order a new couch while during the commercial breaks today of Raw. So that's what I'm doing.
Was it mad? Was it mad about something?
No, my sister only came for a couple of hours and she didn't think her cat was going to take a piss. So she didn't bring the litter box. And when I was in the kitchen and she wasn't paying attention, the cat went onto the couch and just did its business there. And then all of a sudden the cat started acting so differently. And it was like acting like it was its house, so comfortable. It was hilarious, actually. But yeah, so now I got to get a new couch.
Cats can get aggressive. Like I when I was a teenager, I had won my girlfriend at the time, like one of those gigantic, I mean, like human-sized, like stuffed penguins or something. And I kept it in my room before I gave it to her. And my cat thought that it was like another pet and got really mad and pissed all over it.
Was this Oliver or a different cat?
Different cat. Oliver's only about 8 years old. So
okay.
I'm a little more than 8 years removed from being a teenager, but his name was Leonard, actually. So Leonard pissed all over that penguin. I mean, to be honest with you, the girl I was dating was terrible, so I should have still given it to her. But it's neither here nor there.
Say, what?
She was a terrible person, a horrible person.
Yeah. So anyways, but yeah, I'm gonna get a new couch though, because I was already thinking of getting one anyway. So the cat just kind of sped up the process.
Hey, listen, we got our friends at Allform. They're a partner of helixsleep.com/Fightful. I got 2 of their couches downstairs. I've got a 7-seat couch downstairs.
Damn.
It is enormous. Like when we put up the Christmas tree, I have to literally take apart some of my couch and put it in the attic because it's so big. Like,
well, at least it's those couches that you can like move around and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Guys, a reminder, thumbs up, get your super chats, get your humper chats in. We have an interview with Jordan Oliver dropping here on YouTube tomorrow. We had Heath Slater and Titus O'Neil last week. A reminder, Fightful Select Tier 2, you can get a lot of those interviews, or almost all of them, early. So check that out as well. We reported several Joshi-related stories throughout the day and throughout the week. We reported on Fightful, the post show, like WWE had some fleeting interest in Saray. However, she has signed with a new company here in America, so that didn't really get very far. WWE, however, does have interest in Julia. We've confirmed PW Insider's report. However, we cannot confirm that she's like visiting the PC or anything like that, just that WWE has interest. Also today, we had reported that Megan Bayne has been signed with AEW for months and months and months. Now, there was a tweet that Stardom, or the person running their account, took exception to the wording where we said that AEW sent Megan Bayne to Stardom because they said that they negotiated that deal. So I apologized for the terminology, but then AEW and New Japan both reached out to me. And they said, no, we would definitely agree with that terminology because she is under contract to AEW. We have the right of first refusal on her dates. If at any time we say, hey, you're coming back here, well, that's what's going on. Tony Khan personally signed her and was like coaching her through some promo stuff. And we're told that from AEW's stance specifically and New Japan's office, she was encouraged to pursue work in Stardom. I know that Stardom has taken issue with that. Listen, they take issue with that. They take issue with that. I'm sure that they see things their way. AEW sees things their way. But I did want to clarify that because I saw some people trying to cook me on the TL. Well, listen, I source this shit.
Aren't people always trying to cook you on the TL, Sean?
Always. I can't breathe, Denise. I can't breathe. I got to watch everything I say on shows now because everything gets aggregated by every account that bought a blue check mark. Everything. This will get aggregated by one of
I was
those
gonna
accounts.
say it's gonna say Sean Ross Sapp cannot breathe due to
I can't
reporting
blow
job.
my nose without it getting all over Twitter.
You can't what?
Blow my nose without it
that's
getting
true.
all
That's
over
true.
Twitter. Check the reflection. Oh my God.
And if people knew you blow your nose all the damn time.
I got
You know how many times
asthma.
You know how many times I've seen you blow your nose?
You pick on me about it.
Yeah, I
For the
do.
love of
It's
God.
hilarious because you're there like,
buddy, I am going to be hiding tissues and an inhaler under the ring at Black Label Pro on December 2nd. That's something else I'll bring up, guys. I'm doing my first match in 6 years against Shazza McKenzie at Black Label Pro December 2nd. I'm not going to talk about this on shows like this too much, but I do want to clarify all proceeds of my involvement will go to National Alliance on Mental Illness. It's NAMI. They do a lot of great work. I've done good work with them for a lot of years. I do their NAMI walks. I do some fundraisers with and for them. We've donated thousands here at Fightful to NAMI in the past. It's something that's very near and dear to my heart. So please, if you don't mind, make a donation to NAMI. They help out a lot of people. They quite frankly have provided some resources that have saved the lives of one of my friends in the past. So it's something that's very important to me. And I did see somebody say, oh, well, just your payout. No, I'm getting sponsors that are also going to donate on behalf of this match as well. So check it out. I believe it's nami.org, but I'll make sure to get that to you guys. But it would mean a lot to me if you guys would check that out. And if you know anybody that needs that help, send them that way because it could make a very big difference. So please check that out, guys. We got Monday Night Raw to talk about, and there's a lot to talk about on WWE Raw tonight. There's top contender matches. There's world title matches. There's war games. There's all kinds of. We could just talk about CM Punk if you want.
Sure, why not? I've been seeing
He's not scheduled for a board call. Not scheduled for a board meeting. Not scheduled for a board call. WWE outright denied that, just so you know. WWE outright denied it. And CM Punk, when his own friends asked him, he said, no, that ain't happening. So let's go ahead and get into this. Rock Hard Joel Woods says, Sean, I know the interest in Julia is probably preliminary. Do you think they actually have a chance? And what percentage would you say she goes to WWE? I love his percentages. I'd say they've got a pretty good chance if they want her. There are not a lot of women that they pursue in the Joshi world that they don't get, if at least for a period of time. Like we've seen Kairi and Asuka and Io and Saray, like a lot of women that they pursue from Japan end up making that move. And I think if Julia can at least adjust her in-ring style in a way where WWE producers aren't like, knock the shit out of her, then I think she would thrive there as well. I think she's one of the best performers in the world.
And you can't blame anybody that would go to WWE because obviously you're going to get like the red carpet rollout, all of these perks and, visa stuff. I mean, just so much.
They have made it a point to show incoming talent that as well, Denise. Like, look at the Contender twins even. They're bringing those girls everywhere. Cody Rhodes, the type of push he got. Jade Cargill. Even Brian Pillman Jr. as Lexus King got more of a presentation in WWE than he did anywhere else. I mean, MLW put some stock into him too, but a lot of it is the platform.
Yeah, but there's there's a big difference between getting, you can get a lot of attention in a small company and then a little bit of attention in a big company, and it's totally different.
I will briefly address this. Stop writing bullshit about Boozer in here. Listen, here's the thing. I don't hate the guy. I don't any of that. I just want people to be honest with their reporting and be able to accept it if sometimes we got to debunk their stuff when they're not honest about the reporting. That's it. That's it. I have offered to speak to that guy directly. One time when I did, dude blocked me. That's it. Do not hate him. Do not dislike him. But part of my job is debunking news that isn't accurate. Sorry. Andrew Tam says, hi, Sean. Andrew, my friend, how are you misspelling my name?
He misspelled my name too, and I didn't get mad.
Damn it. We love you, Andrew. Thank you. Says, ask you both going to Tampa for Royal Rumble 2024. I'll be there that week. I'm leaving the day of. What about you, Denise?
I haven't decided because I haven't booked my travel yet. I'm lagging a little bit, to be honest, but I will definitely be there.
Andrew, on a serious note, thank you so much for sending the super chat. We do really appreciate you.
Your spelling of your name, Sean, really threw me off the first time I met you. I thought you were Sheen. Yeah.
There's a Sheen in some cartoon. Can't remember what it is though. Because I guess before I had a beard, I kind of looked like that Sheen.
A Sheen?
That particular Sheen.
Yeah, but when I saw that spelling, I really thought it was Sheen.
It was not. It was not. I remember like when I was a kid, like there was a kid at church who would try to pick on me over it, and I was like, it doesn't bother me or anything. You just sound kind of stupid because like you know my name. It's just spelled different. And also his name was Leslie. So I was like, do you want to go there? Do you want to go there?
Well, maybe that's why he was bullying you so that he can like make himself feel better, right? He was projecting. Poor kid. He probably thought, well, if I bully him first, no one will bully me.
Projecting for sure. If they put Julia on NXT, I'll riot. Listen, I think that in a lot of those situations, they need to. Even AJ Styles is like, man, I wish that we kind of could have had some NXT run, but I understand why he didn't as well. Respect Trips for reviving Japanese wrestling in WWE. I mean, today has been like some of the really the last week, just that news has been just flowing out of the Joshi world. I want to put over Scott Edwards, who does a lot of really, really great work, not just for us, but a lot of other people. Please follow him on Twitter. He is Scott E. Wrestling. He has done over 100 Joshi stories for Fightful since 2022. I saw somebody say, hey, there's not a lot of coverage in mainstream wrestling sites of Joshi. And I was like, that's not true at all. Scott Edwards does incredible work and he busts his ass and does it. And in my opinion, he is the best. And we are very lucky and fortunate to have him. And he is a perfect example of somebody that I point to and I say he saw a void and then he filled that void. When I was at Wrestling Inc., I was like, what isn't getting covered? And then I covered that. That's what he did. Very, very, very good at what he does. We've got, let's see, Crazy saying Julia and Will in WWE would not work, in my opinion, AEW. I think Julia would absolutely work in WWE. I think Will Ospreay would absolutely work in WWE, Denise. Things aren't as restrictive as they were a couple years ago.
Well, it's more so just the times are changing, right? Because now people are getting, I think WWE is seeing whenever now that they get these talents that they're actually taking them and doing something with them. We were just talking about this a couple minutes ago with rolling out the red carpet and making people feel like a big deal. I feel like ever since Cody Rhodes went to WWE, that was really like the game changer right there, where I feel like now, maybe, of course, from an outsider's perspective, I feel like maybe they are appreciating the talent that do go over there because, of course, now there are other options and other places that talent can take their talent to.
Yes. So I had said this on the Backstage Report podcast, Fightful Select feature. I recap all of our exclusives over the last week, and I give a little bit of thoughts on them. I think Will Ospreay is one of the most intriguing upcoming free agents in years, and I say that for a very specific reason. Like Cody, well, he was leaving AEW. He wasn't going to go back to AEW. He was not going to go back to New Japan. We pretty well knew where he was going to go. Kenny Omega and the Bucks, like we didn't think they were going to leave AEW if their deals came up and went there. Jade very clearly wasn't going to like go to MLW or anything like that. With Will Ospreay, he's probably going to, I mean, he's already had preliminary WWE interest. They confirmed that to me outright, FightfulSelect.com. AEW clearly interested. TNA Impact clearly interested. And that would be a big signing for them. Obviously, the MLWs of the world and all that stuff. Of course, Mexico would be interested as well. Why wouldn't they be? But why wouldn't New Japan still be interested? And why wouldn't New Japan say, let's work out something where in addition to working full-time here, we're sending you to MLW, who we've got a partnership with, TNA, who we've got a partnership with, AEW, who we've got a partnership with, and CMLL, who we've got a partnership with, and you can make all the money you want while still making this your home base. All of these are options. Everything is on the table for Will Ospreay, Denise.
I think
Everything.
the other thing too is that you got to ask yourself right now, because you're naming all of these places, right? And regardless, like, yeah, if you get to go wrestle all of these places, you're still wrestling a pretty crazy schedule. And Will Ospreay's style of wrestling, doing multiple shows is going to eventually catch up, right? So I'm wondering, and this is obviously Will Ospreay's brain to pick if he ever gets if this ever gets out there right now while he's in the process of making his decision. But I'm curious to see what's the most important thing for him. Is it the schedule, working less dates, making more money? That's clearly something that I think a lot of people would be interested in. And somebody like a Will Ospreay, who is, for example, if you get him on an indie show or any type of show, like anything that's not your New Japan Pro Wrestlings of the world, you're going to want to make sure that it's worth it, right? That he's going to be a special attraction each time. So I don't know. I wonder what the most important things for him are in terms of making the decision. Is it the place of living? Is it also just how many dates you want to work, a certain amount of money that you want to make, creative input? I don't know, right? Everybody has different things that drive where they decide that they want to go. So that is something that I would love to know what's driving, or what at least Will Ospreay is hoping for.
I'm very excited for this. I've already said this many times. I'm going to publish a full story on Select about it. I think that 2024 is going to be one of the most interesting free agent years, period. We've got media deals that are set to come up as well. And we are going to find out how TKO approaches a lot of what we're doing, of what we're seeing here. Like, are they going to lowball people? Are they going to offer people crazy money? Is it just going to be in line? We could do a full show about that. We can. It's going to be good. Trey Way says, "Hey Sean, want to say thank you for shining light on Nami. Just donated $100 to them. Wanted to ask about how you guys think Cody gets back to Mania." Trey, thank you so much. I'm going to match that $100 tonight. So thank you so much for that. That is the goal of what I'm doing here. Please, guys, if you can do this, it will really help some people out. And I think that would be very beneficial. There are a couple of options of how Cody gets back to Mania, Denise. There is the Royal
big
Rumble.
Obvious one. Yep, the Royal Rumble.
And there is also him getting the Money in the Bank from Damian Priest, which I think would be cool. Like, if Adam Pearce put his foot down, he's like, I'm sick of this shit. You have interfered in so many etc. matches, and you're going to have to put something up. I think that's a way that it could happen.
Or what if we just get Roman Reigns flat out saying, I'm sick and tired of everybody out here downing me. I'm sick and tired of everybody talking about finishing Cody Rhodes' story. I don't know. I'm just thinking outside the box, trying to think of a different option besides the two obvious ones.
KW says, SRS can't be cooked. Goddamn, man, they'll try. They will constantly try. Will women have a War Games match? SmackDown. That I don't know yet. I will work to find that out, though. Schism says Triple H is really making a point not to make the women's division better. I think you mean to make the division better. It seems like it for sure. KE775 says, do you think there will be a women's match on the SmackDown side with Io, Bayley, etc. versus Bianca, Charlotte, etc.? I think so. I think it would make sense to put that on the SmackDown side of things, but I mean, they've got a lot of Raw pieces cooking as well. What do you think?
It feels like, okay, because when I think about it, do we have any major alliances with the women on Raw right now? We kind of don't. I'm not thinking of one that pops into my head right away. And then I think over on SmackDown, and we did see Charlotte and Shotzi kind of work together. Then obviously we have Kairi Sane in there. We have Io now. Oh, sorry, the wrong way. I said it the backwards way. But we got Io, we got Kairi Sane, we got Bayley there. We got, I don't know. It just feels like there's a little bit more on the SmackDown side with the women in terms of alliances that are starting to form or not form.
Yeah. We've got Crazy saying, when does Ricky Stark's contract expire? If you find out, let me know, because I've hounded everyone for that information. I'm best believe me, that's been a prime one that I've been after. That's what I've been after. Patrick says, as someone who's battling depression more on the losing end lately, it means the world for SRS to donate the proceeds to Nami. Truly a good egg. Hey, thank you so much. I appreciate that, and I hope things get better for you. And listen, hopefully we've cultivated a community in which you feel supported by as well. Kim says, been out of the loop a couple of weeks since my son broke his leg, but trying to get caught up. Thanks for all you do, SRS and Denise. Well, Kim, best wishes to your son. And listen, I'm going to match that by breaking Shaz's leg at Black Label Club. So look at that.
Bro.
I'm just matching donations all over the place, Denise. Look at that. Look at that. Man, you guys are showing us love tonight. Thank you all so much. We haven't even gotten into Raw as of yet. Jonathan Corona says, Sean and Denise, besides the higher-ups that you talk to and the teases, I know you guys are fans of wrestling. If you were in our shoes, do you want Punk back at WWE? Give me one reason why. As a fan, Denise, yes, I do want to see CM Punk back because I love his work. He's one of my favorite performers. As a person who covers wrestling, I don't enjoy like me and CM Punk have a mutual like we don't dislike each other, but we don't. If we're talking to each other, it's usually not for a good reason. You know what I mean? Like it's not a pleasant thing. So right. I got to separate it that way. But he's one of my favorite performers ever. He's one that inspired me an awful lot. He made me feel like straight edge was cool as well when I could identify with that. Contrary to people thinking I'm a big cokehead on the World Wide Web.
Don't try to lie. Don't try to cover it up, Sean. We know what you're doing out there on the side of the screen. Don't lie to the people. My answer is yes.
So much caffeine. So much caffeine.
You put the Coke in your Gold Peak or whatever it is you're drinking.
Hey, don't name them on the air. They don't sponsor us.
I'm sorry.
My sweet tea.
Fine, then your unbranded sweet tea. It's sweetened by Coke.
My God.
That's going to make it to the headlines. Oh, I got it. Sean Ross Sapp can't sleep because he's sweetening his tea with Coke.
All right. We're good.
There you go. I came up with the headline.
Kim sends me eyeball emojis and laughing emojis. S. Taylor says, with WWE and AEW solidly 1 and 2, where do TNA, MLW, ROH, NWA, and GCW rank? I got it, just those.
Wait, what was the question?
It's just ranking promotions. WWE, AEW, New Japan, TNA, MLW, and ROH. I put ROH right above MLW, GCW, and NWA. And GCW,
what was your
I think
ranking based off of?
Exposure, viewership, asses in seats, money coming in, star power, etc.
Got it.
Yeah. Oh, man. Well, I'll tell you what, if you want to catch all those places on pay-per-view at a much more affordable rate, NordVPN has you covered. Buying pay-per-views on NordVPN.com/Fightful is going to enhance your pay-per-view buying process. Now, one subscription to NordVPN has so many different benefits, but if you're a big pay-per-view buyer like myself, UFC, boxing, pro wrestling, all that good stuff, any combination of the three, if they're doing a fight circus or something like that, this subscription will pay for itself after 1 or 2 pay-per-view buys. Change your virtual location, pay for it at the prices that other people are paying for it in the UK, in Australia, etc., and you can get different interfaces. Maybe you don't like Peacock and you want to check out the WWE Network the way that it used to be, the way that it was designed to be, the easy navigation, so on and so forth. Maybe you want to watch AEW without commercials. Maybe there's some other overseas services that you can't subscribe to and you want access to them. NordVPN.com/Fightful gives you that with a great deal and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Even better, 24/7 tech support, so if you have trouble navigating any of it, they can help you out. Fastest VPN on the planet, NordVPN.com/Fightful. Has the TV no compete expired for Regal? No, it hasn't. It hasn't. It is going to go until the time in which Regal's AEW contract would have lasted. Man, we have not even started on Raw. You guys are sending so many super chats, and I want to say thank you all so much. Call Me Crazy says, WWE in such a good place. Solid new singles, tag team stars for both men and women. Not to mention great veterans that aren't overused and treated with respect. Titles feel like they matter. Wrestling is good, and this is on all three brands. I'll ask our moderator, Luis, to apply those to just any segment on Raw where they sort of fit. But I have enjoyed the flow of Raw much more the last couple of months, Denise. Have you?
Well, I guess today's probably not a good example because I thought Raw was a little bit. I didn't think Raw was great today. I thought the main event was a lot of fun, but I didn't think that the entire show was great. And I didn't feel I thought last week and the week before that, I thought was pretty good shows, but this one wasn't as strong for me.
Well, let's talk about it. We're going to save the main event segment or the opening promo for the main event segment as we always do. But we'll kick off with Judgment Day versus New Day. This is a nice glimpse, at the tag team division. Judgment Day win. It's one of those situations, though, where I'm like, damn, I kind of wish this was – why not just make this a tag title match, too? If Judgment Day are going to go ahead and win it, why not make it a tag title match? Kofi's like 43, Denise.
You wouldn't know it.
It is insane.
You would not know it at all.
I got to roll out of the bed and stretch every morning. And this guy is just doing dives and he's like, ah. And then when he's bored, he's like, yeah, I think I'm going to go open a library in Ghana. Just in my free time. What a wonderful guy. We're very fortunate to be able to watch him right now. I was happier with Judgment Day being featured in this capacity than overwhelming the show like we've seen in the past. I think they've done very good with all that they've had to do, but it was nice to not have them overwhelm the entire show tonight.
Right, but it was a good start for them too because it basically told us, oh, the Judgment Day are going to have a good night, and it was kind of a little bit of a hint as to how we would close out the show. At least that's the way that I took it. Seeing them get the win, I'm like, okay, I'm looking at this and I'm going, all right, they're having a good night. We're seeing where they're going to go and what else they're going to do for the rest of the evening.
Damian Priest has been such a home run for WWE. Like, I remember when he was Punishment Martinez in ROH, I was like, damn, man, like, he's very clearly going to be a guy on the main roster of WWE if he gets that shot. And they've done incredibly well.
I think for him, the biggest win in WWE was that Bad Bunny match for sure. After that, I'm like, dude, this guy deserves, he deserves some props. He deserves some rewards on the main roster for sure.
So we got, let's see here. We got the next segment. Team Kick Source says, would love to see them give Dakota Kai a face run. What do you think is more realistic? Dakota Kai going face alongside Bayley or joining heels Kairi Sane and Io Sky? Ooh, what do you think? I mean, we got Kairi popping up, so that really spices things up there.
I would say babyface for Dakota Kai because I think she can definitely do it. We've seen it before. And so for that reason, I would like to see it. I also feel like Dakota Kai, and it's just really easy because she's really into like all, I don't know, like that world where she does like video games and stuff like that, doesn't she? Like all like that nerdy stuff. I feel like it's so easy to push that and get that out there. And she would be super easy to connect with the audiences. Plus, based on just her overall personality, when you've like met her or like watch her interviews where she's not in character, she's just very simple and very easy to like. So I feel like she would work very well as a babyface. And then on top of that, I still think we need more babyface women on the SmackDown side of things. And yeah, she's been doing heel work for a long time now in Damage Control. So I would say I'd be interested in that.
Yeah, likewise. I mean, Dakota Kai is an X factor for me, and I'm like, okay, what is going to happen with her? Bear Hudson says, how big of a signing would it be if they could sign Julia? Could you please clear up any CM Punk rumors so fans don't get excited for War Games? Listen, man, that's all I do is clear up Punk rumors, but I will reiterate it. But I do think Julia would be a massive signing for WWE. I think she would connect with that audience. So to clear it up, to be clear, you will not hear Fightful say, yes, CM Punk will be at Survivor Series, or no, he will not be at Survivor Series. I am not reporting that. This is pro wrestling. Anything can happen. As of Fastlane, WWE was going to straight up debunk the rumors. Triple H was expecting to be asked about this and was going to shoot it down. And the line of and instead, I got a call from a higher up a couple days later because nobody asked about Punk. We were shocked about that. Surprised that nobody asked. Well, so were WWE. And they said, what have you heard? And I said, well, I've heard that you guys haven't had conversations with CM Punk. They said that is accurate, and we don't want to mislead people and get their hopes up into thinking he's going to be there when they're buying tickets for Survivor Series. To which I replied, well, you should probably stop having your talent tease him on television so often, specifically the Corey Graves thing. You will notice there have not been any Corey Graves teases since then. I don't know that anybody said cut that out, but it makes sense. I know people in the creative team were a little bit frustrated because they have not been told anything regarding CM Punk coming in. They've just been told we don't have plans for him. He's not. Top talent, Denise knows who those talent are, the WWE would not risk lying to. We're told, no, he's not coming in right now. CM Punk has told his own friends, in which he has confided many details in, often which get relayed to me, he is not going to Survivor Series. They're not in talks. That is the latest we've heard. Anything can happen. It's pro wrestling. Dakota Kai did not get a call to return to WWE until the day before she returned to WWE. There you go. Call Me Crazy says, if CM Punk and Ospreay come back at Survivor Series, which teams do they both fill for War Games?
I feel like this is too fantasy land.
Ospreay's deal isn't up until next year, so it won't be him. But if it's Punk, he won't wrestle. He would just walk out,
right?
Look at Rollins in the face.
Right. It wouldn't just be like, all of a sudden, hey, he's here. Let's put him in a team. Let's go. Let's forget all of the stories that we've been doing the last couple of weeks leading up to Survivor Series. So yeah, no, definitely not expecting either of those in a Survivor Series match.
Dream Ninja says Denise smoking something with that hot take. Yeah.
What hot take?
I don't know. She's getting smoked like the Jets got smoked tonight on Monday Night Football. I can't relate. My team won in primetime last night. It was beautiful. It's wonderful. It was really fun, actually. So Shinsuke Nakamura defeated Akira Tozawa. Now, a lot of people have been throwing a lot of stuff out there about CM Punk being referenced in Nakamura promos. He's feuding with Alpha Academy, Denise, and not just one of them. He beat Akira Tozawa. It was a very fun match when you can see that Tozawa can wrestle. But he got the win, and then Otis squared off with him. They're facing each other next week. Jenny Wheeler says, I've been enjoying the new Nakamura, but Tozawa had me cheering him tonight. What's this feud doing for you? We're seeing more of Tozawa integrated, and I think it's freshening up Alpha Academy a little bit.
It certainly is.
Yeah.
It certainly is. Akira Tozawa has been very good at the comedy portion of it all, and he doesn't have to do very much to make the people laugh or anything like that. So on that side of things, I have been enjoying what they've been doing with Akira Tozawa on Alpha Academy. Plus, on top of that, you got it helps that Chad Gable and Otis within themselves are these characters, and even when he takes this loss backstage, they're pumping him up and they're telling him things like, oh, well, don't worry, you're gonna go to NXT on Tuesday, which was a clever way to promote the Tuesday match as well. So good for that. I liked what they had Tozawa do on Tuesday's NXT last week as well. So that's perfectly, he's perfectly fine in the role that he's in.
Rock Hard Joel Wood says, well, Nick Hausman, love Nick, got his media credentials approved, so you don't have to worry about no CM Punk questions being asked. That is absolutely true. That is also very,
you think
very
we're going to get more Taylor Swift questions? Or you got to go get your Doja Cat questions in, Sean.
I get them in interviews. I saw people saying, you better not be asking. I'm like, better not be asking. I already filmed the questions. What are you doing here? I honestly don't usually ask a lot of presser questions. And when people are like, oh, well, why? I usually have a direct line to most of these people anyway. In the UK, I didn't want to ask any questions because I was like, okay, a lot of this UK media don't ever get to ask questions, so I don't want to be that guy that just.
I think for me, my pet peeve, specifically in AEW pay-per-views, because WWE is a little bit more coordinated with the time. So it's very
Yes.
quick, 4 questions or whatever questions they have allotted, and you go. My pet peeve for the AEW pressers is sometimes questions are asked just because, just to ask a question.
Sure.
So my rule of thumb is if I don't really got a question, I'm just gonna fucking chill. Like, I'm not gonna go ask a question if I don't got a real question.
The F-bomb. Let's go right to our sponsor, Factor.
You don't have to.
Just before I hit record on this, I lucked out. I was going to start my day late, cook some lunch. It was going to set me behind even further. You know, I could order some food depending on where you are at any given time. But then I saw my Factor box was here. Factor, America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit, can help you fuel up for breakfast, lunch, dinner with chef-prepared, dietitian-approved, ready-to-eat meals delivered straight to your door. I'm about to eat that chicken parmesan. If you're too busy this fall to cook but want to make sure you're eating well, with Factor, you can skip the extra trip to the grocery store, all the chopping, prepping, cleaning up, all that stuff too. If you've got a tight schedule, man, it is the best. If you're looking for calorie-conscious options during the busy season, you can try delicious dietitian-approved calorie smart meals. They've got lunch to go. They've got gourmet plus options. They've got all kinds of things. Even fall flavors like cranberry, pecan chicken, apple Dijon, pork chops ready in just 2 minutes. They'll satisfy those fall cravings during that busy season. Plus breakfast, apple cinnamon pancakes, bacon and cheddar egg bites, potato, bacon, and eggs breakfast skillet. They have everything you're going to need. Head to factormeals.com/Fightful50 and use the code Fightful50 to get 50% off. That's code Fightful50 at factormeals.com/Fightful50 to get 50% off. This is an incredible deal. Check them out. Shout out to our dude Mojo Raleigh for hooking us up. Got super chats, got humper chats, lots of them. Goddamn, I love you guys. Call Me says, holy shit, Tozawa kicks ass. Genuinely one of my favorite Raw matches. Probably a hot take, but match of the night. Tozawa should use Alpha Academy to become a serious competitor again. I hope he does, Denise. I hope that he starts picking up some like banana peel wins, then some just clean wins. I would love for him to reel like 4 or 5 wins off. And then Gable coaches him up to Gunther. And he has a match with Gunther. And he has a surprisingly competitive match with Gunther with Chad Gable rooting him on. Because I think that goes a long way in Gable being a babyface. As much as he wants the Intercontinental title, he's still there for his dudes. He's very clearly obsessed with that title. But he's still there for Maxine. He's still there for Otis. He's still there for Tozawa. That's what I'd like to see.
Right. It would take a lot for me to get to the if I'm going to see Akira Tozawa versus Gunther, I don't know if I want to get that kind of a match. I would much rather have Gunther just absolutely kill Akira Tozawa in that, because I'm sorry, it would take a lot for me to get there with that. A competitive match between Tozawa and Gunther, only because of the presentation of Tozawa. Like, they would have to do a lot to kind of make me forget his spot on the roster for like the longest time now.
So, after this, they played the Intercontinental title video, which was phenomenal. It was so good. They're doing videos the right way. Then they had the title contender match, and the finish, I was like, oh boy. We knew Miz was going to squeak it out. And listen, like, I understand from a story perspective why they're like, okay, Miz is a legendary Intercontinental champion. I just don't really want to see it. William Rab says, was the finish in the 4-way miscommunicated? Watched back, asked how it didn't go the way it should have, especially with Ricochet kicking out. Yeah, the way that things were, Miz just should have won. And that was that. And what's the point of Ivar facing Miz next week, which they're doing? The finish was very awkward and didn't make sense for what they were setting up, Denise.
It almost looked like it was going to be something really cool when you saw Ivar and Bronson go to the top. And I'm going, okay, this is going to be an awesome moment. And I'm waiting for it. It's executed. And I'm like, what happened? They had to literally show us like multiple replays and explain and break it down and zoom in and tell us exactly what happened, because everybody looked confused in that. And it got to the point where I'm going, I don't know what I'm supposed to think here. Is this the way that it's supposed to play out? Is this the way it's not supposed to play out? Like, what are we doing here? And so for me, it was something that was almost going to be really cool. And it kind of just didn't hit the mark at the very end. But I will say this, though. I thought that Ivar was great. And I mean, there were some good moments in this match, but Ivar's spinning heel kick, I forgot who the hell he got it on during that match. Good. But there was one moment where he just hit a spinning heel kick that I felt kind of just like knocked my socks out when I saw that one. It was really good. But I'm personally not able to connect with The Miz in the sense that he's supposed to be a babyface now and we're supposed to cheer for him. I feel like all the fans got on this boat. Everybody got a ticket, and somehow, some way, I feel like I was just left there on the side going, damn, I missed my ride, can't catch on. That's how I feel. Like everybody decided that they're okay with cheering for The Miz as a baby face, and I just can't connect to it. I'm seeing this and I'm going, what are we doing here? I'm sorry, I can't with The Miz as a baby face, and I feel like everybody's just decided it was okay. I feel left out on this one.
I'm glad that Ivar. Well, okay, first off, if Miz pins Ivar next week, I'm going to be sad on the World Wide Web, Denise. I'm going to not be happy about this. Ivar is on such a roll that I just don't want that. If anybody pins him, I want it to be Gunther. They're calling. There's Gunther. Outright, like he's on Friends.
He's just Gunther now, right?
He's been Gunther for a while.
Good. Okay. Well, now that they got me used to saying freaking Gunther, now I got to go back. Okay, but all right. So if we get that match against Gunther, that would be great. Fine, we can do that. That would be cool. But anyways, we're gonna get The Miz, so that's what we're doing.
Oh, I don't want The Miz to win this match. Anyway,
to actually defeat Gunther? You think they'll do that?
No. I don't want Miz to win. I don't want him to win next week. I didn't want him to win last night. I don't want him to face.
I was about to have
tonight.
like
I don't want him to face. No. Sorry. Chody Loads says thought Raw ruled, but if Miz beats Gunther, I'm never watching wrestling again. There ain't no chance. No chance.
I think I would riot. Honestly, I would riot. I would be so mad. Like mad.
Natalia vignette. I love these vignettes. I just love these. FightfulSelect.com, best $5 in the business. Had the full rundown. Had news on Tegan Knox's return today. Had news on the main event of Raw, which we'll talk about later. But also this Natalia vignette, this Drew McIntyre segment, where he just showed up and then drove off. He wasted a lot of time traveling to tonight's show to just run away from Jackie Redmond.
He clearly has money for gas. Because gas is expensive.
It is very, very expensive. Metal Hot Bob Houston says eagerly awaiting Drew's next move. One hell of a Raw. Fightful Select gets it right again. War Games. We did report on FightfulSelect.com. War Games is coming up. Looks like Drew's next move is I-75 or something like that. Like he's just driving the hell out of there. Backstage, we see the Creeds and Ivy officially sign with Raw. I love this. It makes it seem more important. It adds to it. And you listen, I love Julius and Brutus. I think that Ivy is the most main roster ready of all of them with presentation, look, and how well she'll fit in with the women's roster. She just kind of gets it. K775 says, think Ivy and Creeds are the last call-ups before Mania.
We still got some good time, and we still got the Rumble coming up, and I feel like we might see, hopefully, I'm hoping we'll see some surprises at the Royal Rumble, because we should.
Exactly. But they're up. I'm so happy about it. And they're facing DIY. They set this match up backstage, and the Creeds win. So the Creeds won on Raw. They surprised a lot of people by winning on NXT Halloween Havoc when they're on their way out of NXT, and they win again tonight. It's very clear that Triple H is looking at these guys and being like, all right, we're going to put some stock into them.
Yes, the Creed brothers right now are the best act with the most potential, because these two guys are going to go, they're going to do great stuff as a tag team, but there's going to be a point where these guys are going to become iconic WWE superstars on their own. Julius and Brutus are going to go on to have WrestleMania main event matches at some point in their lives. And so the Creed brothers right now, like, they've just been put into the stove. Like, they're about to start cooking, man. I'm so excited about the Creed brothers. I do wish we didn't have the interference by Kaiser in this match. I think that was the only thing that I didn't think needed it, because the Creed brothers are coming in and doing such a great job that they can easily defeat DIY without anybody coming in. So that was my nitpicking portion of this, was I didn't think Kaiser should have been involved in this, because the Creed brothers were cooking on their own.
So I do see why they did that in the match. A humper. As soon as I saw it on the rundown, I was like, get the hose out. Just forget the hose. I'll put my head under the spigot for that one.
You know what I'm hoping for? Because the Brutus Ball is such an awesome finisher. I'm hoping that they find a way to, I don't know, I feel like the crowd should be more excited when you see the Brutus Ball. Is it just me? Like, I feel like the reaction should be, you know how when Montez Ford does his frog splash, everyone's like, oh shit, here comes the frog splash. I want that kind of a reaction for the Brutus Ball. I feel like I'm sitting at home watching and I'm reacting louder than the entire arena whenever he does it. So I feel like they need to do something to start really, like, hyping it up, come up with a chant. I don't know, something.
I am so excited to do Manscaped plugs next to the Brutus Ball. I am so excited. I didn't have a problem with the Imperium thing, and I usually prefer clean finishes, but I do understand why you did. It was a great match, but also I look at it and I'm like, okay, well, they very clearly don't want DIY to just lose because they're fresh off of this and all that, and they wanted to continue the Imperium feud. I'm not as interested in the Imperium feud, but I think they can build up Imperium to a point where I am excited about that, but I understand why they had to foggy up the loss, not the win for the Creeds, but the loss for DIY. I understand that's why they did it.
So is your interest falling out because of Imperium or because of DIY?
Oh, not because of DIY. I'm super pumped about DIY. I love Imperium too.
I feel the reverse. I'm not as pumped about DIY. I'm more pumped about Imperium.
I'm excited about DIY for this reason, because for so much of what they've done with Johnny, they've tried to have it be more like the end of his NXT run, where he was over from his personality, but he got over because of how incredible he is in the ring. I think when you're going to this main roster audience, you have to make people go, oh shit, those guys are unbelievable in the ring, then show their personality, because as good as Johnny's personality is, his wrestling is just insane. And I think that outshines even his good personality and Ciampa's great personality. I think that's the best way to get them over. And then you highlight the personality a little bit more, which is easy because they can work off of each other. I'm very excited for this tag team division right now in general. And Broadway
it's finally starting to shape up. That's for sure.
Also, don't be surprised if you ever see Julius Creed fight in UFC in the future, especially with UFC and WWE being in bed together. He is a friend of Daniel Cormier's, and I wouldn't say a protege because I wouldn't know about that necessarily there, but has been advised by him in the past. Put on the spot, Creeds are pretty deadly, have the better tag run the next 5 years. Oh, that's a tough question. I'm going to say the Creeds, but I think that a lot of their business is going to be done together. Like, I think Pretty Deadly and Creeds are going to have some incredible matches, but adding DIY, the Creeds, and what is it?
I think Creed brothers are going to have a stronger future than Pretty Deadly. And I really like Pretty Deadly, so that's not taking from them. But I just think that the Creed brothers, their athleticism is freakish in another level. And Pretty Deadly's very entertaining, but they're not the type of athleticism that the Creed brothers are.
I love interviewing Pretty Deadly. Were you there? Did you get to do the little short hits with them?
No, I don't think I was there for that one.
Oh,
no, I wasn't there for that. But I did meet them when I was at NXT, and they were very nice.
Well, they were not nice. They were very in character for me, but I loved it. Like there are a few people that if they're not out of character, I don't mind. MJF, Nikki Cross as a heel was so fun. Oh my God. Silas Young, Matt Hardy, like when they're in specific
There's
characters.
very few.
Yeah, there's a very limited one. Dominic, love Dominic in character. Some of that stuff. Grayson Waller sometimes because he's very smart about staying in like MJF does. But Pretty Deadly are just so like off the cuff. I was like, hey, well, what you relocated to the States? What's your least favorite thing about the States? And they're like, well, where are you from? I said, Lexington, Kentucky. They said, well, as it so happens, we have some not so great things to say about Lexington, Kentucky.
And what they say.
I don't even think they said anything. They just generally buried the city. And I'm like, damn, I gotta interview them more. I'm gonna be bugging WWE. Well, they're on SmackDown, but when WWE comes to Lexington in Raw or for Raw in February, I'm gonna be hitting them up to get some people in that studio over there. But
You should do a tour with Pretty Deadly, a tour of Kentucky.
Oh, I thought you meant in my studio. I was like, no, thanks.
No, like Lexington or something, and they could just trash you, trash the city and trash you at every landmark.
That is a brilliant content idea. I'm going to see if I could do that in the future. Mike the Jeweler says, while we're on another note, any scoops on Revolution location? Not yet. I'm trying to find out. I need to be there for Sting's last match. Me too, buddy. CM Petty posting merch sales on Insta. That was hilarious. He was making light of the board meeting stuff as well. Says, thanks for all the hard work. Don't get your ass kicked, SRS. Listen, the whole point of the Shaza match is to just show Shaza that even after 6 years, I can just get off the couch and still beat her in a wrestling match. Because I rolled up to Black Label Pro, got in her face, hit her with a DDT, and it wasn't even difficult. It was a good DDT, too. So I was just like, you know what? I'll beat her in a match, too. And then after that, why not? Who's to say I'll stop there? Maybe Brogan Finley's next. You never know.
Hey, Sean, I have a question. Can I do a reaction video to your match?
Shaza did one to my other match, so yeah.
Yeah? Okay, I was going to say, am I going to get in trouble if I do a reaction video to your match?
No, absolutely not. I saw somebody say, oh, what? We can't make fun of this match? I'm like, why? That's the whole point, is to make fun of this. Like,
okay, cool, because that's what I want to do.
Listen, I'm not going out there to have a catch wrestling classic here. I'm not going to
have another suggestion, by the way.
It's a street fight.
I have another suggestion. Now, I know you have a lot of friends, Sean, so this is your time to utilize some of those friendships.
I do.
But you should definitely, if you haven't already planned to do this, you should get some behind-the-scenes footage for Fightful Select or for the YouTube memberships or whatever you want to put it on.
Yeah.
And you should get, footage of you preparing for your match and stuff, the big day, the day of.
I have been. I mentioned this before. I was going to start preparing much earlier than I did. I had to get cleared. I was not medically cleared for a very, very long time to do this.
You should have reported on Fightful Select, Sean Ross Sapp not medically cleared.
I mean, I had spinal stenosis. So yeah, it was not a thing that I was medically cleared to do. Trey Way says Jay Grooms versus SRS got 5 stars by Meltzer. Go watch it. Sean can actually kind of go. That is the only match of mine that is online. I did about 30 matches. Jay Grooms is my tag team partner and my catch wrestling coach, and he was certified by Billy Robinson and Josh Barnett. And
wait, where can I watch it? Where can we watch this?
It's on YouTube.
So I just search for it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, Denise, you were in the ring. Yes. Listen, I wasn't Bryan Danielson or anything, but I wasn't terrible or anything like that. But you witnessed Josh Barnett, former UFC champion, looking me in the eyes, and he didn't do shit, Denise. He had to rely on you. Thank God you showed up. Thank God you showed up. Anyway.
Sean, you were on the floor crying, holding your Brutus balls.
Muted. KE775 says, you think Becky is just working the lower card till the Rumble? Hope that she can bring out the big name that Becky could work with, like a Deanna or, Becky, like she did with Tiffany and Valkyria. I would love to see Deanna and Becky work together, but I would be shocked if WWE didn't make an overture. Becky very clearly is biding time to what we all know, Rhea and Becky. Very clear. she had a good interaction with Nia where she's like, oh, yeah, I remember when you broke my nose and then I main evented WrestleMania and you got fired. That was amazing, Denise.
That was amazing. It was funny because I was thinking about how Becky Lynch is one of the very few performers that she doesn't even have to be on a match and she gets, I don't know, however long that freaking promo was. And she got like the most over thing on the entire show.
It was fantastic. SAS says, if Becky versus Rhea for the world title is in the plan for Mania, do you think they will have Becky win even though she hasn't signed a new contract? No. I think that Rhea Ripley will beat Becky Lynch at WrestleMania. Becky Lynch has had her WrestleMania main event win. As of right now, Rhea is still the hot talent. Rhea is still the hot hand, in my opinion, Denise.
I think Rhea would benefit a lot more from a victory over Becky Lynch than Becky Lynch over Rhea Ripley, 1,000%. I think that is because what has been like the thing that people have been talking about Rhea Ripley's reign for a long time. They were talking about how she was literally just there to serve a purpose for Dominic Mysterio, like literally. That was all. And people were wanting to see her wrestle. People were wanting to see her have moments. And as champion, she's had a couple of moments, but they've been very sporadic. And I think you need something really big to put a stamp on this reign of Rhea Ripley. So when you think back to this reign that she's had, what are you going to think about besides Dominic Mysterio? You could think about her WrestleMania match with Becky Lynch. I think that would be really something special. So I do hope that that's how it all plays out.
Completely agree. Xia took out Becky. I thought this was a smart way to continue this feud. Xia takes out Becky, and Adam Pearce goes, no, you think I'm going to let you in this battle royal after you just attacked one of the biggest marquee names in our company and took her out of it? No. I thought that was good. That's common sense. That was like, okay, well, hell yeah, he's doing the right thing. Because if you're Becky in kayfabe and you see this happen, why wouldn't you be like, I'm going to go over to SmackDown where they'll treat me right type of thing? Like, so I thought that was a really good idea.
Yeah, because you were clearly looking at this, and I mean, we don't want to see Becky and Rhea at Survivor Series. We were just talking about this. This is a WrestleMania match. So if she was going to be part of the Battle Royal, they were going to have to go about it some different way to get her out. Unfortunately, I'm still in the same boat about how I felt about Xia Li. I really wish they would have started things off differently with her. I really wish that they would have been like, oh yeah, she wouldn't have backed down the second that Becky Lynch gave her the match. That's the one freaking thing that's been bothering me, but we know that they're killing time here with this, and that's what it is.
Zoe wins the Battle Royal. Listen, a lot of these Battle Royals are flip him up over the rope, knock him off the apron. It was a lot of the same.
This was... I'm just going to be real here. I thought this was one of the most boring Battle Royals I've seen. I'm not a fan of Battle Royals. Yeah. And this one here... that's honestly, I'm not a fan of Battle Royals. So if you're going to give me a Battle Royal that doesn't even have, I could name you all of the good spots in this. Nikki Cross having that moment where she's doing her thing, just standing there like a statue. That was great. Chelsea Green, the way that she got eliminated, that was good too. Then the finish.
Ivy's body press.
Oh, yeah.
I liked it.
That was good too. That was literally it, because the majority of the top of this match was all the girls in the corner on the edge, just doing this, just trying to get the other person over. That's at least put someone in the center to do something.
Biologically, it is a lot more difficult for women to do eliminations because they're shorter. You can't do the back body drop, the clothesline over, a lot of that stuff because they can't clear the top rope. And that's the unfortunate situation, but they booked it. Dream Ninja says this was a fun Raw. The Battle Royal highlighted so many women. Pumped for Zoe. I am too. I'm glad that Zoe's getting an opportunity, and she had a face-to-face with Rhea as well. Also says Creed's DIY was great. Main event was great. Four-way was great. Just good stuff.
Zoe was definitely the right person to win this Battle Royal because Zoe has had one of the best. Like, if anybody goes to the main roster, I'm just talking about the girls right now. If any girls go to the main roster, I would hope for the luck that Zoe Stark has had, because she has had a lot of opportunity to really show herself as a performer. She's gone in there with Becky Lynch. She's been in there with Trish Stratus. I would hope that my luck would be that quick, that fast on the main roster. That's for sure. But I think she's the perfect person because she's a great wrestler. She actually feels, and I'm not saying that she's gonna defeat Rhea Ripley, right? But she actually feels like a force. She feels when she did the confrontation with Rhea Ripley and the way that Rhea Ripley was basically left there just kind of standing there and Zoe caught her by surprise. I love that.
Yeah.
You don't often see that. And to me, that only helps add to Rhea Ripley because I don't want to see Rhea Ripley in just a bunch of matches that I know are not going to be that great or I just know Rhea Ripley's absolutely going to murder this person and we're not even going to get anything good. I like that it's Zoe because I know we're going to get something concrete.
Will Chisholm says, don't understand why people don't like Becky working with lower talents. Clear she wants to do it, so why do people act like she doesn't want to? She does want to. She wants to help out. She wants to help set up the next generation. It's very important to her, and it's something that she takes pride in, and I think it's something that they clearly have a lot of trust in her to do. Thank God it wasn't Nia who won. Listen, I agree. Metal Hot Bob Houston says, awesome to see the opening pyro return tonight. It adds a lot of like hype to it, I think.
Dude, when I was a kid and I used to go to wrestling shows, that was like the thing I was most excited for. I would prepare for it. Like, yes, we're going to get pyro. I used to get so pissed when we didn't get pyro. I forgot what event I went to not that long ago where I thought we were going to get pyro and then we didn't. I don't remember what
I was there when they set the arena on fire with it. Raw 1001, they set the Cincinnati arena on fire testing the promo. Pyro.
Pyro. Yeah.
I almost said testing the porno. Glad I didn't do
Sean,
that.
What's going on? What's going on here?
Damn.
Porno and pyro are such different words.
Bob Houston says they said Bloodline on SmackDown. Does that include Roman? Usually they just say Roman if they did. Is Cena done with this run? I haven't heard one way or another. I did ask WWE if he's got upcoming dates. They didn't get back to me on that. I heard that the SAG-AFTRA talks didn't necessarily go great.
They're still debating between the AI stuff and some other details as well.
Piper in Portland, Brett in Canada, and Punk in Chicago. No comment. Dawn says, show up on Evil Uno's Mystery Wrestling. I love Evil Uno. I'd love to do stuff like that. Jonathan Corona says, wanted to send my last super chat before I leave for Mexico Thursday to celebrate my grandma's 80th birthday. Happy birthday to your grandma. 80.
Where in Mexico? Yeah. I'm curious where.
Yeah, I'd love to know where. I don't get this. I know because of the buzz, but why is WWE doing teases for Punk if he's not going to be in WWE or not going to be selling out, or if he's not going to be there and WWE selling out Chicago? A lot of it, I mean, quite frankly, a lot of them aren't teases. They're stretches. A lot of them aren't teases. Now, you could absolutely say the go to sleep is a lot of Corey Graves comments. Michael Cole saying, look at Sami Zayn's eyes. Get out of here, man. By the way, I got to blow my nose.
This is sus. This is sus.
Very sus. A lot of these teases aren't teases. By the way, Rollins kicked off this show. And he said, you know what? I had a tough match. And after that tough match, I almost got cashed in on and would have if Sami Zayn didn't help me. So let me bring him out here. Sami Zayn said, you don't need a Money in the Bank to get a title shot. I'll give you one whenever you want. You just say whenever you want. And they went back and forth a little bit. And Seth did not want him implying that he was less than 100%. And Sami goes, all right, let's do it tonight then. And it's perfect. I love big title matches on Raw. If they would have made Sami Zayn versus Seth Rollins the Raw World title match at WrestleMania, I would have been like this next year. I'd been like, damn, okay, that's a hell of a match. Sami Zayn's been over forever. They added it to Raw. FightfulSelect.com reported it, by the way. Were you surprised by this?
At some point, we need to see Sami Zayn as World Heavyweight Champion. That is all I know. I mean, I knew it wasn't going to happen here tonight. I was actually expecting, I think the most obvious thing we were all expecting was for two options, right? I think we were expecting for Sami Zayn to win, but then all of a sudden there be a cash in by Damian Priest, or even at some point just Damian Priest cashing in. I think that was probably what a lot of people might have expected, just because, of course, Sami Zayn took away the briefcase from Damian Priest. So I feel like that was kind of the prediction going into it, but I did like the way that everything turned out. But even the promo portion of it all, when Sami Zayn said that he didn't want to face Seth Rollins because he wasn't 100%, I liked that, because he doesn't want to beat a man who isn't anywhere near his best. So I liked that. But I also appreciated that Seth Rollins said, no, you know what? We're all of us back there aren't 100%, clearly attributing to the fact that wrestling is a dangerous sport. And so to me, I kind of felt like they both had very valid reasons where I'm like, dang, I get Sami Zayn's side. Like, how the hell is Seth going to get back at him with this? Like, how is he going to justify this, right? And then when Seth did, I thought, well, you know what? Maybe he's right on that too. So they kind of get me going back and forth where I was agreeing with Sami, I was agreeing with Seth, and then finally I'm like, just do the match. Do the match.
I posted in the private chat the city that he said he was going to. Leon.
It's Guanajuato.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. You stole the words out of my mouth. Jonathan Corona said, Sami and Jay winning the tag titles would be so good. They'd be a good tag team to watch. There is a tag title match set for next week. Cody and Jay against Judgment Day as well. SAS says, who do you think Seth faces at Mania if he's still champion? Punk, Ospreay, Sami, or somebody else?
If he's still champion,
Punk would be the biggest name. Ospreay would be the biggest match, or the best match, and Sami would be the most likely of those three.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think
out of all those three, though, I would mainly want to see the CM Punk one, because
of course,
that one, I like the drama. I like the tea.
Well, they had a fantastic match. I loved Sami Zayn using the Blue Thunder Bomb for a near fall a couple days after he won with it. And Seth Rollins eventually wins with just a good pin. Like, this was a slapper of a match. Pedigree gets a near fall as well. And then Seth just wins clean. There's nothing with Judgment Day. There's no bullshit like that. It is a clean win. You win him in the ring, you lose him in the ring, and Seth got him. I love this match. I love this being a title match. So happy for this.
I love that they did that at Crown Jewel too, in his match with Drew. And I like that they did that again in this match with Sami Zayn, because nothing makes me feel like shit more than some shitty finish to what is a great match. So for me, I love the pin. I love the pin too, how it just came. I'm like, yes, because the way that the whole match had been going down at this point, like, this was the highlight of Raw for me, was this main event. And we all knew that this wasn't going to be Sami Zayn's big happy ending. Of course not. So it wasn't going to happen on this random ass Raw. But still, we knew that something was going to happen. But even then, the fact that we still got, entrances started happening at like 7:25. So they gave this a whole lot of time to actually cook and develop into something. So I like that they know that the fans actually want to see a thorough match before we get to whatever shenanigans are going to happen afterwards.
Yeah. We got an awesome match, but then the shenanigans did happen. Everybody runs out. Judgment Day runs out. Cody runs out. Jey Uso runs out. And JM Melagrito sent us a super chat, said, how do you two guys rate Pierce's War Games scream? Listen.
He took his glasses off to do it.
It was great. Listen, I got to say, I think it's right up there with Regal. That's how good I think it is.
Stop it, Sean. No.
I think it's right up there with Regal.
Okay, on a scale of 1 to 5, Regal's a 5. Where would you put Pierce?
4.8.
Oh, see, I would give him like a 2.8. I did like that he took his glasses. He was like, this is my moment. It was so funny.
Did.
He took off his glasses. He stares at the camera and he does the big thing. It was hilarious.
Luis says, Cody better bring the blade in Chicago. And Nick says, hey, guys, hope you're doing well. Quick question. Randy returns at Survivor Series. How do you think he'd be involved? Well, here's the big question. Everybody's saying, that War Games is 5-on-5.
What's that supposed to mean, Sean?
I think Randy Orton's going to be involved, and I think they reveal it before Survivor Series. And I think they reveal it before Survivor Series so people don't get their hopes up and think it's Punk.
Okay.
FightfulSelect.com, best $5 in the business, reported that Randy Orton was on his way back and that Survivor Series was a targeted date. Izzy says, Denise, do you read the Fightful Select reports before Raw, or do you wait till the show to get a genuine surprise?
Oh, I wait till the show. Sorry, Sean. I don't mean to offend you, but I wait till the show.
Oh, I put disclaimers in there. I put disclaimers in there that says, please be cognizant of people who want to avoid spoilers. I know some people love it, and I know some people hate it, and I don't want people to ruin it for those that do. That's why I never post spoilers.
I don't think I've ever told you that. I never read them before.
I don't care. I listen.
Because I like to be surprised. It helps me get more interested in the show.
I wouldn't if I could avoid it myself, but we serve our audience. Broadway Joe says Becky wants to make as many stars before she goes to AEW, perhaps. I think it's all dependent on the amount of money that gets offered. Ryan says LWO plus Dragon Lee versus Profits for the other War Games. I would be shocked if that one got War Games. I would be shocked. I don't think that has near the steam to do that.
No way. They've been doing. I'd be pissed if no, hey, we're good. We're good.
We've got Emily Duda saying they could have used the "Baby Let the Games Begin" part of "Ready for It" to get a Taylor Swift tie-in for the War Games promo instead of War Pigs again. Any thoughts?
I'm tired of people using my queen Taylor Swift for clout.
AEW used Doja Cat for clout.
How'd that make you feel? Did you care?
I was like, oh, that's cool. And then I went about my day.
But theirs was different, though. That wasn't clout. That was a cool little video that they did. And I like that. That was different, though. If Taylor did something like that, where they had her music and they were highlighting all the women, that would be freaking cool.
Or she could just do a theme song for her close personal friend, Jeff Jarrett.
I mean, she could.
That'd be cool. Mike the Jeweler wraps us up and says, hello to Denise. Leonard should have, my cat Leonard should have pissed all over the end of Raw. Jesus. He says, imagine this. Sami Zayn wins. They shake hands. Judgment Day attacks. Cash in. Send your Money in the Bank win. Set up War Games unless Cookie Monster Phil coming back. Take care, you guys. Listen. I don't think he's coming back at Survivor Series. I will never say that it's impossible that somebody could come back or anything. I just personally, opinion, I don't think it's happening. WWE claims it's not happening. CM Punk claims it's not happening. That's just how I feel now. And I know
regardless of what happens, your mentions are going to be a disaster, Sean.
I'm so sick of talking about it. I'm so sick of talking about it.
No matter what happens, your timeline is going to be nuts. That's it.
What's Xia Li's ceiling? I think as of right now, as of this moment, what she's doing, working with Becky Lynch. If she improves significantly, well, then I think that she could. If she emerges from this really, really good, well, then I think her ceiling expands greatly. I think right now Becky is in the tell us how she's doing spot.
This is the test. Make it or break it, sink or swim.
Guys, thank you all so much. Denise, tell the people where they can find you.
YouTube.com/Denise Salcedo. That's the place to be.
We are all over every platform. Please leave a nice review on our audio platforms. We're on Spotify and Red Circle, everywhere. We're everywhere. Leave nice reviews there. Leave a thumbs up on this video. Check out our other shows every night of the week. And subscribe to FightfulSelect.com. Please donate to NAMI. Until next time, guys, we're out.